Welcome to the final video for part 1 of the Workspace Organics Modeling course. In this video we are going to finish up shaping the head. Back the view out to see the drawing, and notice the position of the large tooth here and here. We need to adjust the lips and the jaw to allow for the positioning of these teeth. The bottom one comes up across the lip in this area, so we need to pull in the upper lip to make room for it. Again, I notice that I'm selecting vertices on the back side, so let's set the selection mode back to select nearest element. Go ahead and select and pull in the lip vertices. Be careful to make sure that you select the ones on the inside as well, if needed. Next, tweak the corner of the mouth to better line up with the new offset of the top lip. Continuing down, let's start pulling out the bottom jaw. With those changes, we have more cues to further tweak the corner of the mouth, some more both on the inside and the outside. Also pull out the sides of the jaw some to give it some more volume and to better line up. A couple more tweaks to the corner of the mouth. And we're looking pretty good. Next, we're going to need to make space for the upper fang. This is going to need more geometry, so select our trusty polydraw tool and let's add in a new loop starting at the center line and going down the side and under the jaw. While making the final cut, I noticed there's another loop underneath that we didn't finish connecting up. Right-click to exit the tool, reactivate it, and let's take that unfinished loop to the center line as well. Switch back to Select from all elements, and to the Rectangle Select tool, and let's select a portion of the new row of vertices we've just added around the jaw. Then move them in and scale them down vertically. Also position and rotate them a bit to line up more vertical. Drag select the next row of vertices, but be careful not to get any of the centerline vertices. Move these in slightly also, then move them up and scale them down as well. Select the polydraw tool again and let's add one more loop closer to the back of the mouth. With the loop added, scale it down some, and move it down some as well, and that'll better round out the shape of the lower jaw. I'm still not completely happy with the corner of the mouth, so switch back to Pick and Paint selected, and let's tweak that transition area some more. The top lip area here can be pulled in a bit more. Again, it's important to be careful that you're not selecting all the way through the mesh, so switch back to Select Nearest Element, and select the row we want, and then pull it in. Finally, bump out the new geometry on the bottom lip a bit further. With that done, it should give us enough room for the bottom tooth. The upper lip could still use some more volume, so let's pull out this corner some more, and then tighten up the inside to match. Take a look at the area just inside the lower jaw. When we were in SDS mode, I noticed that this canal shape running along the jaw really isn't wide enough to hold the teeth. So let's select the polydraw tool and add a new loop just inside the old one. While cutting the loop in, don't forget to cut across the face of the last polygon so that we can maintain our quads and edge flow. Now pull down the old loop to make a wider bound for the tooth canal. As always, use the view to get the best working angles. And let's also fix some of the issues with the tongue shape while we're at it. With that done, reactivate the polydraw tool and continue the new loop up and into the roof of the mouth. Again, when you get to the last polygon, make sure to add a vertex on the polygon and to connect it up to the next outer loop to maintain correct edge flow. Switch to Faces element type and select the faces for the roof of the mouth, and then pull them up and in. We want to deepen the roof cavity so that it won't be smoothed away when the SDS is applied. Next, switch back to Vertices element type and clean up the edge flows inside the roof of the mouth. Some of these are going to be pretty far off, but as long as you use multiple views, you shouldn't have any problems lining them up better. Pulling up the vertices on the center line will also help to deepen the roof cavity. Don't forget to clean up the inner vertices for the upper lip as well. These will likely need a fair bit of tightening up. Looks like we're almost done here. Let's pull out the sides of the jawbone some more to get those lining up again. And I still think the upper lip needs a bit more vertical height and volume. And here on the corner as well. Finally, just a minor tweak to the inside of the upper lip, and I think we're pretty much done working on the head. Go ahead and exit out of Mesh Edit mode, and add back a layer of Subdivision Surfaces. The shapes are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and add a second layer of Subdivision Surfaces, so we can see what the model would look like at a more usual still render resolution. I'm pretty happy with this. So here's a beauty angle, and we'll call it done for now. If you've been following along and made it this far, you should now have a pretty good working grasp of Workspace's basic polygon modeling techniques and workflows with which to tackle organic modeling. There's still a lot of work left to complete this fish character, and in part 2 we'll continue from where we've left off here in part 1, finishing the modeling of the fish and introducing many new tools and techniques. We'll even cover UV mapping and basic rigging for posing. Part 3 of the course will be focused on building a scene for the fish, and we'll cover prop creation, lighting, texturing, and rendering. I hope this course has proved useful for you, and remember, if you have any questions or get stuck anywhere in the course, I can be reached on the Category forums most days of the week. So keep on true spacing, and see you on the forums.